trigonometric equation, just like normal math equations, as you might know, where you usually ask to find the value of x, usually in an equation. But for trigonometric equation, since we have a trigonometric graph, which looks like this is for sine. So this is the graph of sine of x, where you kind of like have a wave like this. All right, graph sine x. This is the graph, right? And let's say you have an equation like this. Sine of x is equal to a half. What is the value for x right here? In order to find that, since we have the number here is sine of x equal to 1 over 2 or a half, it means that we have to draw a line along the half here on the y-axis, just like that. There's 2 points here that the line and the graph intersect, which is this point right here and this one right here. So sine of x equal to a half. This is actually a special angle, which means we can find the x by just looking at a sine table. And that is actually very easy. But if you want to find it in the right way, like how do you find such a value with a formula or the right way, you can actually find the inverse of it. And this is how you do it. Sine inverse, the -1 here means inverse, of a half equals to x. And now we can finally find the x by using a calculator. So you can do it by pressing shift, right? And then press sine of x, or sine, just like that. And then use a fraction, put a half. As you can see here, we found the value 30. Yay! So therefore, 30 is actually the x. This will be equal to 30. Well, 30 is actually the 1 in this point right here. This right here. On this side, this is 30 degrees. And actually, guys, how to find this point after we found this one, which is 30 degrees? How can we find this one then? We can find it by looking at the symmetry of the graph. You see the whole interval here, right? This is actually 360. So this point right here is actually 360 degrees. Therefore, a half of 60 degrees is 180 degrees. And yeah, after we found 180 degrees right here, it's going to be so easy to determine what is this point right here. So from 0 to 30, that is 30, right? So from 0 to 30 is 30 units. And as you can see, the symmetry is this to here and this to here would be the same, right? As you can see here. So we can actually find it by subtracting 180 by 30 degrees. I'm gonna do it like right here. 180 subtract by 30. What we'll get is 150. This will be the point for this one. 150 degrees. And there you go, found 2 points. So how do we find the rest of the points, like right there, you know? So because this graph is actually never ending, which is infinity numbers of the solutions. But since this is only 360, and we'll put it 360 degrees, it means that there will only be 2 answers, which is 30 degrees and 50 degrees. And we can write it, the set solution, 30 degrees and 150 degrees. That is the answer, everyone. How about cosine? Well, it works exactly the same. Let's put a line on a half right there. Okay, and found out that 2 points here and this one, they both are the intersection of the 2 lines. Alright, and remember how to do it. You can just cos inverse of a half is equal to x. Just plug it into the calculator real quick. Here's a calculator, alright? So we can put shift and then cosine. I'm going to put a fraction, a half, is equal to 2. There you go, equal to 60. Let's go. So we found out that it is 60 for the first point here. Right, it is 60. That will be 60 degrees. And remember, in order to find the second value here, we can use the symmetry of the graph. If from 0 to 60 is, it's 60 units, then from this point to 360 degrees would also be 60. So we can find this point by subtracting 360 degrees by 60 degrees, which is going to be 300. So this point right here will be 300 degrees. 300. And there you go. And we found both values, and we can write the set solution, which is 60 degrees and 300 degrees. Now for tangent, it might be a little tricky. Because as you can see, the graph is almost totally different than the graph of cosine and graph of sine, as you can see. So in order to understand how to find the values, it's very important to know how the graph of tangent works. So basically, as you can see here in the graph, first interval is from negative 90 to 90, which is 180, right? So that from here to here is 180. And it is the same as this one. But notice that there's an asymptote right here, which is the imaginary line that this tangent graph is approaching to, right? Because if I continue this, it's going to increase until infinity, but it will never touch this asymptote. So here I put a point, the 1 right here, and negative 1 right there. It's actually not a point, just for the y-axis. This is tangent of x is equal to 1. So remember to draw a line along this 1 on the y-axis. And as you can see here, 1, 2, and 3. Though the interval for this one, I'm gonna put it from 0 until 360. So this thing actually means that from 0 right here to 360, from here to there. Actually 360 is right there. if you cannot really see it, the 360 is right here, that point. So if I put the interval from 0 to 360, it means that from here until this point right there. So from here to there, as you can see, there's 1 and 2 points where the line intersect, the two lines intersect. So what are these points? We can do the exact same thing like before. Let's do the inverse, just like what we did before. Tangent inverse of 1 is equal to x. Alright, shift, then tangent 1. Right, this is the inverse of 10x equals to 1. You got the answer right there, 45. Okay, 45. As you see here, 90 is right there. And you know 45 should be right here. 45 is actually a half of 90 degrees. I didn't draw the graph very precisely so that, as you can see here, the half of 90 should be somewhere around the middle here, right? And my point is not exactly in the middle, as you can see. And I think it's fine, as long as you know how to find it with calculator. You can find this 45 degrees. It means that from here to here is 45 units. And how to find the second one? There's no line here. It makes it so confusing. Well, okay, let's draw the line. Let's make it easier. And as you can see, it's equal now. There's a line here, there's a line here. So from here to here is 45. From here to here is also 45 degrees. Right? We can find the point of this by subtracting 270 with 45 degrees. There you go, this is the answer, 225. There you go, so we found both values. Okay, there you go, found both values for the interval 0 until 360. The set solution, 45 degrees and 225 degrees. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.